All right, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're gonna talk about some bad horror remakes. All right, so I got a list of them and we're gonna just jump right into this, okay? Without further ado, let's get right into this video. All right, so we're gonna jump right into this video, okay? I have a few videos that I wanna talk about that I got off a site that they rate as the worst horror remakes, okay? So, all right, so from 2009, it says My Bloody Valentine. I remember seeing this movie back then and I don't like it. I could not stand it. I couldn't stand it. All right, it says the 2009 remake of the 1981 horror movie My Bloody Valentine is poorly made and feels more cheesy than scary. The movie tells the story of characters in a small town that is dealing with the aftermath of a mine explosion. Since this took place on Valentine's Day, the title is a play on words, and it could be argued that the title is the best thing about this remake. Wow. So, yeah, I know that I saw that movie. I don't care for it. So it says, the villain in the horror film puts on a miner's uniform and terrorizes people. It says there are so many other great slashers to watch that this one can be skipped for sure. Definitely. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it. All right, so moving on. This is one I really can't stand. Child's Play from 2019. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. It's a horrible remake. The 2019 Child's Play remake is an updated version of the famous 1988 horror movie, and it is just doesn't have the same vibe, tone, or fun factor as original. It said the same elements are here: a young boy named Andy, his mom, and a good guy doll named Chucky, who is a lot more trouble than he appears to be at first. This remake proves that there is more to a great remake than just including the same characters and setting the main story as the first one. Yeah, I couldn't get into that movie. It was terrible. I remember watching that, and as a Chucky fan, a Child's Play fan, it was a big letdown. The Chucky in this movie is like a robot, I believe. It has none of the same qualities as the original. Doesn't look like the original. Nothing as original. Nothing. And I just hated it. I hated it. All right, next on this list, not my list, but next on this list I found on GameRent.com is The Stepfather. Okay, so I like The Stepfather. I thought it was pretty cool, but let's see what they say about it. The 2009 remake of the 80s movie The Stepfather stars Penn Badgley. If you don't know Penn, he's from Gossip Girl, and a very famous role. He plays Joe Goldberg on You. It says it stars Penn Badgley, whose mom Suzanne has fallen in love with David Harris, who is a creepy evil con man who has a pattern of marrying unsuspecting innocent women and then committing murder. It says Susan doesn't see any obvious signs that something is wrong. While there are many 80s horror movies that deserve remakes, The Stepfather isn't one of them. The 2009 remake ends up feeling like a corny Lifetime film, and it's too obvious from the beginning that David is lying about his identity and that he's going to complete the cycle again. So I have to admit, like, I thought it was a pretty okay movie, but then you have to admit, a lot of times when people remake movies, especially from the 80s, that it just does not work out. A lot of these movies do not need to be remade. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I can tell you a lot of things on top of my head that needs to stop being remade, like Scream, like Halloween, like Final Destination. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Did I say Scream? Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, this was absolutely terrible. A Nightmare on Elm Street from 2010. It was horrible. Horrible. I'm not even gonna read what it says, right? I'm gonna give my opinion first. The man that played Freddy Krueger in this movie did no justice to Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. Different height, different attitude, different atmosphere, different character, just different in general. And the face, like what was up with it? Like something was wrong with him. Like that did not seem like no Freddy Krueger. It said the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street is a terrible teen horror movie and also had a bad horror remake. The original 80s film is a masterpiece, okay? A masterpiece. And I agree. It's known for its horrifying story featuring brilliant horror villain Freddy Krueger. When compared to the original film, which sees teenagers dying in their dreams thanks to Freddy, there didn't seem to be much of a reason to release the 2010 remake. This time around, the main characters are devoid of personality and audiences can't tell them apart. Since the original film is full of genuine scares and cheesy yet perfect dialogue, it is hard not to just watch the 80s movie. Some horror movies need remakes, but the original film introducing fans to Freddy is good enough, and I cannot agree more. There was no point in it, and it's not like it did well. It was terrible. I remember watching that, and the people in the movie theater were laughing when they saw Freddy. They were laughing. A waste of money, waste of time. This is another one that 2019 just wasn't a great time for these movies to come out. I love Pet Sematary, the original. This one says 2019 Pet Sematary. I saw it and it was just awful. The 2019 Pet Sematary remake doesn't change much from the original 80s film. And then again, if it doesn't change much, if it's just a remake, then what's the point? I can just go watch the old one. Anyway, just like before, a family moves into a new house in the country, sees a pet graveyard behind their property, and meets a wise, mysterious stranger who seems to know all about this place. Ellie Creed is the child who dies and comes back to life instead of Gage. So instead, like the original, they had Gage, the son, pass away, and he came back to life. So in this remake, the daughter Ellie is the one. So they switched that around. It still was boring though. It still sucked. If you haven't seen it, don't. All right, here's another one that I love, the original, Mother's Day. It is a very old film. Yeah, okay, Mother's Day, it was from 1980, and that one was just awesome. Like, yeah, it might be old and cheesy, and you know, the graphics, the effects might not be that great, but that's what you appreciate in older movies like that, because they worked with what they had. All right, so my family, we used to watch this Mother's Day movie back in the day, and I like it a lot. But they made one from 2010, and it says it's not only the worst remake. This is on a site, someone said it's not only the worst remake I ever seen, but it's also the worst movie that I ever seen in general. It says it has nothing to do with the original. There is not one likable character in the entire movie, and the acting and writing are so bad that everyone involved should be ashamed and barred from ever making a movie again. The original movie is about a crazy old lady and her two homicidal sons, but this movie is about something else. They can't even put it into words. This remake was on TV one time, and I think I watched some of it, and I was like, Mother's Day, that sounds like the old Mother's Day from back then. But yeah, it's like that person said, it has nothing to do with the original. It pretty much sucks, and it sucks so bad I'm not even gonna touch on what it was about. So yeah, lastly, this is something that I put on here myself. I'm gonna talk about how bad the It 2017 movie was. It is nothing like the original. It's terrible. I thought I was the only one who felt like it wasn't anything like the original. The Pennywise sucks. The older Pennywise is awesome. The acting is just terrible. I hate it. I couldn't even finish it, honestly. I couldn't finish it. So, and I really love Stephen King's stuff, and I love it. That's one of my favorites. So seeing that get a remake, I was already like on the fence about it, like in general. So I found this on a site. It says it is boring, racist, and it sexualizes minors and has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's insane. I don't know how. This person says the Pennywise of this one reminds them of the Grinch from the 2000 Jim Carrey movie. Looks like what happened was they didn't want to go with something similar to Tim Curry's assured but subdued performance, so they hired the guy who would hop around as energetically as possible. They said it's not his fault, the actor who plays Pennywise, is just a lack of creativity from top down. It says there's just one problem with this, that the modern horror really sucks sometimes. And I agree. Like that person said, it's supposed to be, you know, some children. They're acting all just, I hate when they make these movies and these kids are acting all grown and stuff. Like in the original, they weren't doing all that cussing and all this like grown stuff. Like they might have said a few bad words here and there, but these kids these days, when they put them in these movies and these shows, they are wilding out. They're just, it's too much. It's too much. Like, so I couldn't even do it. And the two differences in the Pennywises, I'm gonna put them here. You look at these and tell me who looks better. Like, clearly Tim Curry. Like, no one can top that. And then on top of that, they're making another one. It's just, I can't. But yeah, that's all the movies that I wanted to talk about that have horrible remakes that shouldn't. And it brings me to the topic of just Hollywood is running out of ideas. So I'm gonna leave that there. In the next video, I'm gonna talk about Hollywood running out of ideas, especially in the horror genre, and I'm gonna tell you the reasons why. So if you like this video, make sure you like, comment your thoughts. If you're new, subscribe. Check out the rest of the videos on this channel. And yeah, thank you for watching, and God bless. See you in the next video.